Dr. Devashish Rath, on behalf of Maharshi Markandeeshwar Dean to the University, welcome all the guests, panelists, delegates, CHRO founder, Mr. Yogesh Yadav, my team members, Samruddhi Modgil, Manasa Yadav, Jatinder Sadana, my lawyers, all they are available here, part of this event. Like any other HR conflict, this is slightly different. We have many more activities lined up for today. I'll not be a barrier in between you and the activities lined up for the union. I'd like to invite my colleague, Samriddhi Sanjay Modgil. She will be your host for today's event. Over to Samriddhi. Thank you.
Request everyone to please be seated as we unveil the magic tonight. We have enough time for dinner and drinks and networking after the event. Requesting the audience to please have their undivided attention on the stage right now. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, Pune, ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished guests. It is an absolute pleasure to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to this auspicious gathering, the HR Conference 5.0 Pune, organized by Maharshi Markandeeshwar Dean to be University in association with the CHRO Forum, Pune. Your presence here today signifies a shared commitment to the intellectual pursuit and the exchange of profound ideas. Today, we embark on a voyage of enlightenment. Within these walls, we shall unravel the intricate tapestry of human intellect, and each contribution shall be a mosaic piece that enhances the grandeur of our collective understanding. As you delve into the profound reservoir of knowledge that lies before you, I implore you to embrace the dialectic nature of this gathering. Engage in cognate conversations, foster dynamic exchanges of ideas and perspectives, and harness the intellectual prowess of your fellow attendees. Within the realm of shared brilliance, let us cultivate meaningful conversations, connections, ignite the flames of innovation, and grow transformative frameworks that shape our ever-evolving world. This conference acts as an alchemical vessel where ideas converge and blend harmoniously, giving birth to new intellectual frontiers. It is our sincere hope that the symphony of this intellectual discourse would bring out the best version of our professional selves. Once again, I extend my heartfelt welcome to each and every one of you. Together, let us embark upon this intellectual odyssey that awaits us with open hearts and keen minds. May this conference be a resounding success. Shubham karoti kalyanam, arogyam dhan sampada, shatru buddhi vinashay, deep jyoti namostade. As we embark on this auspicious occasion together, let us symbolically illuminate our gathering by lighting the lamp, a cherished tradition that signifies the dispelling of darkness and awakening of knowledge. In this radiant glow, we invoke the blessings of Goddess Saraswati to shower wisdom, inspiration, and enlightenment. I invite Dr. Devashish Rath, Mr. Jatinder Sadana, and Mr. Yogesh Yadav to please do the honors. So please. Can you please have a big round of applause to show that you're present? ladies and gentlemen, the year 1993 saw a visionary with a dream to make education accessible to one and all. Tireless efforts, unwavering dedication, relentless commitment and persistence. We started from a scratch, and today, 28 years later, NAC accredited Grade A++, part of top 3 institutions of the country, 78th among all government and private universities in India under NIRF rankings 2023, 31st among all government and private pharmacy colleges in India, 34th among all government and private medical colleges in India, total 3 campuses in the states of Haryana and Himachal Pradesh, students from 50 plus countries, 93% overall placements, 600 plus prime recruiters, 50,000 plus success stories. Ladies and gentlemen, this is none other than Maharishi Markandeshwar, Dean to be University. Let's hear for it. Forever grateful. Moving on. CHRO Leadership Forum is an association of experienced and senior HR professionals from Pune and Aurangabad city. It is a non-government and not-for-profit making association. The aim is working towards proactive contribution to the HR fraternity's development through brainstorming knowledge, sharing and coming together. It is possible due to association's premier senior decision makers being part of the HR association from the IT and manufacturing organization. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment has arrived. The moment has arrived to behold the enchantment, the very purpose that has brought us all here together. Engaging dialogues that challenge our perspectives, insightful exchanges that ignite contemplation and intellectually enriching interactions. Carefully selected for their exceptional expertise and groundbreaking achievements, our distinguished speakers are renowned luminaries in their fields. They are esteemed for their profound wisdom and pioneering efforts. With their unparalleled insights, they empower us and guide us towards a realm of knowledge that pushes the boundaries of human comprehension, particularly in relation to the issues pressing the HR industry today. Pacing up the event, I would take the honor of inviting our esteemed panelists, one by one, to the stage to come forward and take their seats as I recite their worthy introductions. Our speakers in panel 1 would discuss and throw light upon the impact of extreme disruption of technology on human resources and people. To begin with, I invite Mr. Abhijit Parlikar, Senior General Manager, Human Resources, John Deere. Let's hear for him, everyone. An accomplished HR practitioner, business advisor, and a coach with strong business maturity coupled with profound operational and leadership skills, his track records of 20 plus years demonstrates experience in taking ownership, delivering results, building and managing large and diverse teams, and meeting expectations against budget and timeline realities. So welcome to the panel. Next, we have with us Mr. Rajendra Roth, Vice President, Talent Acquisition, Jade Global. Can we please hear from everyone? With a proven track record in the computer software industry, Mr. Roth possesses a wealth of experience. He is a highly competent information technology professional with expertise in HR consulting, executive search, customer relationship management, and recruiting for technical, business process outsourcing, and campus environments. And finally, our moderator for the show, Mr. Vinod Bilbeg, Group Director, People and Culture, AB Global.
Good evening. I was actually thinking that there is a lady, Shashi Tharoor, giving the introduction and speaking about the event. So, thanks for nicely introducing us. We have a esteemed speaker with us, the panelist, I think, Mr. Abhay Gite. He is the Labour Commissioner of Pune region. I invite him on the dais. You will see the first Labour Commissioner who participates normally in some interactions. Specifically, one of the thing I would like to mention that he actually was in HR profession. Sir, if I am not wrong. Still HR profession, but he started career in industries as a HR professional, and then he qualified as a commissioner. So it's good to have to listen, his views also. So shall I start? Okay. Well, I will start here and then I will take a seat because I have something to set up the context about today's topic. Is moreover about technology and consequences on human resource and people dimensions. Just for last 2-3 months, I am experiencing vibrant things on the LinkedIn. So I think the technology is a subject. Consequences everybody knows. Everybody knows what's happening around the world. I don't need to tell you. And today we will discuss more about, and we will find out some solutions or some takeaways through this panel discussion. Yesterday we were discussing in a group that what should be the question. Then we thought, let's simply free flow. Somebody was saying that first identify the answers and then we will actually ask those questions. So that was also discussed. But then we thought that it is good to have because Yogesh was behind me that sir, question base do. Whenever I say which question base diye, then finally we agreed yesterday that we will not have any question. We will have just a discussion. It's free flow discussion. But I would like to set up some context about the topic. It is about jobs that will disappear. And that Gite sir is there, they have seen the transition for last 35 years in the industries and senior Abhijit and Raut. I think great experience from the panelists from diverse background, from government organization to manufacturing to IT and all these things. So there are certain things we need to understand about the technology, and that we are experiencing for so many years. Because nowadays GK is becoming very dominant. GK doesn't mean general knowledge, but the Google knowledge, what we say. But after Google knowledge, it's again ChatGPT is disturbing whole things. What are the impact of the technology? And I actually think there are 3 ways we need to handle today during this discussion. Is about the psychological impact what we are having on the people. One is about too much information overload, because the AI and machine learning is a language model. It is not a thought model, right? It is a language model. They can't think. But the consequences are totally destructive in terms of as a human being. And we need to figure out that how we are going to improve the employability in the organization. Because general comment always is there that the employability in the students and in the sector is a major problem in India. So one of the things is psychological impact because of the information overload. The narrative said by the medias, I'm from media company, and that's why I can say that what sort of narratives are set up. We are watching WhatsApp and all these things nowadays. Social isolation, because nowadays I remember the era where in one of the organization during period, my boss, the technology was new, emails and everything was new. That time it was Linux, then became I think Microsoft and all these things. So he used to tell me sometimes on behalf of him, write a bit to X person, so to Mr. Gupta. I used to write and send, then sir mail bhej diya. So he used to say, okay, then go to him and tell that, I have sent the mail. And then I used to come back that, okay, the mail is, then ask him, he has received the mail. And I also, there is attachment. So that sort of discussion we are actually going through long back, and now it's totally different thing. So information overload, social isolation. Now people don't speak with each other much. Digital addiction is going on. Everybody is on WhatsApp and ChatGPT, and there are so many things happening. One of the things that in HR profession or in any profession, we want to know everything. We want to be expert in everything. FOMO, fear of missing out. अगर मुझे knowledge नहीं रहा तो शायद I will be out of the context. People will not respect me. So we want to read everything. We want to comment on everything. And of course, it's also cyber crimes and cyber. The major impact is on a talent impact. Which is actually there will be a lot of job redundancy, job displacement. I can foresee that with ChatGPT, thank God we are also into Marathi media. So Marathi is not good, ChatGPT is not good into Marathi. But Times of India, Hindustan says all this English newspaper even read the news that they are making a redundant, their journalists, editors and all these content creators, artists and so many things. Skill obsolescence. How are we going to make a people more, because ChatGPT, using ChatGPT is not that simple. So command to dena chahiye, right? Otherwise it will give a different information. Increased competition, we have attention span going down and cognitive abilities are reducing. I think we are not able to think. So these are the certain talent things we need to over. And third is about, after the COVID, it is about more on a mental impact. It's health and wellness, but it's also psychological, where our span of attention is going down, our cognitive abilities, thinking power is going down. We are too much reliant on the technology, too much rely on the Google. You must be knowing that there was an incident where the Google, Mr. Mahesh Javade, I think Vijay sir knows him, he is the retired IS officer. He gave the example just day before yesterday that he was traveling and Google showed some different route and he tried that. Then he realized that nothing is there, your road was also not there. And then one old man came, he was a tribal person from that, he explained that you came in the jungle, in the forest, and that was Dajipur, which is very dense forest near Kolhapur. And there was no way, then he guided and he came out. So that's also because there was totally different things if you rely on the technology. So I think our discussion will be around this. Main things we will ask the panel that what are the repetitive, what are the job displacement and how we can actually focus to that. So I will not take much time. These are the discussion points mainly so to set up the context. And I will ask this question to specifically Vijay sir about like yesterday there was a news, I think the TCS case. The court has given that and there are people from IT companies. The software engineer is not a manager, he is a workman. So I think for industrial relation expert is a good opportunity. Now you can go in IT companies, there will be union and all these things. But there are certain isolated incidents happening around that. So with related to this topic, I would like to ask you what actions government should do to address the job displacement or job redundancies happening around the world. And there are certain ethical issues also because ethical issue in terms of cyber crimes and ethically in terms of the ChatGPT specifically, because we don't know, it is a machine learning and there are certain things. So what is your views on that? Something around this one.
Thank you. I hope I am audible. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Yogesh Jadhav for gathering us over here together and he gave us an opportunity to interact with each other, to share our thoughts and views with each other. Now I'll come to the question in our discussion. The word you use, sir, the job displacement, but I'll refer this word as it's not a job displacement because of the technology. I'll quote like that, it's a job upgradation or skill development, you can say, or skill upgradation is there. Because I hope that there are so many senior fellows sitting over here. And we may remember the era of year 1990 when globalization was there. Honorable Finance Minister Mr. Manmohan Singh was there at that time. We are open to the world and after that world becomes a village. So in those days when computer launched, so there were organizations, those who are resistant for the technology. And they were claiming that this technology will take away our job from us, but it doesn't happen. Moreover, it created more and more jobs in futures, and there were more and more employment in the market. So that's what I'm referring to this word, not job displacement. It's a job upgradation or skill upgradation, you can say, or skill development is required. Especially while working in a government, we used to deal with the most of the manufacturing sectors. We have very less interaction with IT and service sectors. Manufacturing sector fellows must be able to understand that in the era of 19 and 80s, they used to hire the person who is a 5th pass, 7th, 8th, 9th or 10th. There is no any criteria, only they have to hire the person deploy in the factory, make him train for that particular job activity and get work done from him. Then afterwards, government created a syllabus, you can say, or courses like ITS and diplomas, any other courses which fits to the industry. But after that, what has happened? That things continue, but nobody has changed. What kind of new skills are required? What kind of new skill sets are required for the various kinds of industries? Then industries have started to developing their own courses as per their whatever the skill set they require from their own employees. So I think they have started in those days some learn and earn kind of schemes, and they have designed their courses with the various universities like CHRO or any other universities, and they have designed their courses as per their own requirements, and then they try to fulfill the skill set they require. If they are unable to get it from the market, right, so they have designed. I think everybody knows that when we were in the graduations, there were only 2-3 options were there. Plain graduation, so science graduation, BSc in physics, BSc in chemistry, BSc in maths, that's it. But now you can see there are so many options. You can take the example of so many people are MBAs must be here. So in 90s or 2000, only 3, what you can say, specializations were there. Human resource, finance and marketing. But nowadays you can have digital marketing. One cannot code over here how many specializations now we are having. So this is the one thing. We need to expand our horizon. Not only industries, not only educational institutions, at the same time, government also we need to expand our horizons. What kind of requirement or skill set is required for the forthcoming years, forthcoming decades that we have to anticipate now, and accordingly we have to proceed further. So this is one thing. The other thing you mentioned, sir, or you were asking that regarding the ethical or ethics, and you were saying about cyber crimes. So I think law is at system is at that place. Now there are cyber crime, cyber cell, and the awareness again is very important. The awareness is also there. Everybody must have seen the Jamtara, sabka number aayega. So but now this is not happening nowadays. People are more and more learned nowadays, irrespective of their qualifications, irrespective of their designations, irrespective of their professions. They have learned, they have adopted the technology. So this is the one thing. So I thought it's not a job displacement, it's a job upgradation or skill set upgradation. This is what I think.
Very excellent.
Excellent. I think it is upgradation, I agree, but there are certain assumptions to that, provided people start learning, because it's a process of unlearning and then relearning, because, and then again, it's a continuous process. And my question goes to R. Rajendra about he's from, I think, IT and IT's companies. So, what are those things organizations should do to make people more employable, skilling, reskilling, because the traditional skilling way will not work around this. So what are those efforts you are putting in your organization, or what is your general opinion about it?
Yeah. So how do you build the industry-ready resources? I think that's what we are talking about. So I mean, each company is working towards it. So when we started, we used to go and hire, the campuses, from non-IT to IT. When you're looking for end users, looking for, having a domain knowledge or functional knowledge who can grow. But now industry has evolved, and there are no generic kind of trades, where we used to hire mainframe, VBSQ, ST. But now you see there are combination of the skills what people are looking out for. How do you create that industry-ready resources? So I think every company is working very closely with the universities, building the incubation centers, or doing that campus connect program, where you actually change their last semesters, 8th semester, and ensure that whatever you're looking out for as an industry, because there's a gap between academia and the industry and the understanding. So that gap, how do you bridge it? And the one more thing where, we used to hire, now currently we're hiring people on 6 months internship, 1 year internship, who are actually in last year. Either 7 semester, 8 semester can spend in industry, or 8 semester at least they will spend in industry. So it's a pre-placement offer, which we used to do only for the MBAs in early days. But now we are doing it for engineers also. That will save a lot of your time to, so for an industry like us, we have to spend at least 12 weeks to train the people. Another 12 weeks to, put him as a buffer or as a shadow resource. And after 6 months to 9 months to 12 months, it will take to a person get billable. But if you see with this new, internship program, I think within 3 months, we are able to make, billable these resources. So which has, changed a lot of things. In fact, whenever we do a campus tie-up or we do a campus connect program, we also want them to do a certification. We sponsor that. We ensure our, senior leadership, can go to colleges, visit colleges. We call faculties to, because you can't go to so many engineering colleges. Call faculties, have a program for a couple of days where you train the trainers and tell them this is what we are looking for, this is what industry is looking for. In fact, for IT, this is what we do. I was working for a BPM industry at one point of time. There is no course which will give it to a talent give it to a BPM industry. So NASCOM has developed some QBs, so qualification packs. What they do AR, ETL kind of training, especially on the BCom, BA, that kind of people, because that industry is totally different. You have a training, you have an operational, and you have quality. So every person who comes, you have to train, because each process will be different. Though there is 30-40% of the chunk is FNA, which is finance and accounting, where we get a lot of AP, AR, GL. So NASCOM as a body, they are also helping to groom the talent, make the talent industry ready, and then people should take that industry very seriously. And that's the 2 cent I would like to add.
So I think it is
skilling more on hands-on experiences on that will work. And it goes to the next question to Abhijit. I think his background from John Deere, and they also have Technology Center, Global Inno Center, and all these things, so many employees working. When you speak about technology, you also must have witnessed what's happening around there in the world for the last 4 or 5 years. And today, with this sensor technology or IoTs and, of course, machine learning and AI. So have you seen any transition in terms of changing the roles, and what sort of efforts your organization is putting to adjust that or to take care of the future roles in the organization, and what is in the strategies around that, HR strategies you are defining?
Thank you very much. First of all, thank you for giving me this opportunity to be with this panel today. And of course, first time sitting with the commissioner here. So let me give you a bird's eye view first, because I think we should not get unnecessarily worried about what's happening around us. Because what initially started as an agrarian economy, then got converted into industrial economy, and then digital. And the most important part is, we didn't take much time to really adjust. So digital economy, I would say, in last 5 years, the way we have embraced, every nook and corner, even the sabji mandi shop also has means and ways of collecting digital payments. So the kind of way we have improved and embraced all of these changes around us is phenomenal. And then from agrarian to industrial to digital, and now we are moving towards what we generally call as basically the artificial intelligence kind of an economy, where things are changing very rapidly than what was expected. And all we need to do is be aware of it and ensure that we try to learn. From the perspective of our organization, I would say the most important part is how do we really make sure that at all levels of the organization, what exactly do you mean by digital or digitization or digitalization, all of these important aspects, we started putting together a plan. And not only for our technology organization, but also our manufacturing organization. And you'll be surprised to know, Mr. Kike was there when we had our agreement signing ceremony. And one of the demands that the union had in their charter of demands was, how can they upskill themselves on the digital side of it? And that was a big surprise for us because they were asking for it. And they wanted to make sure that they also, upskill themselves from that perspective. So, organization-wide, we had a plan where we said digital dexterity is very important, and therefore we said we will have the digital learners, then we will have digital catalysts and digital champions. So, digital champions were more from a leadership perspective in terms of giving them a complete idea of what's happening and what are the emerging technologies which are coming in and how do they really face that. And digital catalysts were people who were actually using some of the digital technologies already. But we wanted to make sure that they upgrade themselves in those areas. And then the digital learners were those people who were given very small bit-by-bit courses where they can be aware of the digital tools that they can use in their day-to-day world. And that really changed the way we look at, the way we give the value to the organization from a people perspective. And we have multiple use cases since the time in the last 2 years where people have started using the digital skills in their day-to-day work. So that's a big change which has happened. And we are not only stopping there, but we are going one step ahead. All the technologies that we are currently using on our products, we are making sure that our employees are embracing it, whether by way of time with the institutions, or also use cases where they can actually go to the fields and actually try out their experimentation on the innovation side that they are doing. One very interesting data points I just wanted to mention here. This is not to scare anyone, but I was just trying to, since yesterday, I'm just trying to read through a lot of articles on various, like you mentioned about NASCOM and all of those areas. So about 25% of all the jobs in next 4 to 5 years will be impacted by AI. What does that mean is not that we are going to lose our jobs. It does simply means that you need to reskill or reimagine your job in a different way. All the repetitive job essentially will be done by AI. However, whatever we need to do from an HR perspective is upgrade ourselves and make sure that we are closer to the business and making sure that we are impacting what really matters. So that's the one point. The second point is about 45% of the skills will be impacted completely. So the skills that you see today, in next 5 years, you will not see those skills. You talked about ChatGPT. In last 1 year, you have not heard about a term called as prompt engineering, for example. Or prompt engineering, in last 6 months, you would see there are thousands of courses which are coming up on the prompt engineering side. Even though you have ChatGPT, how do you really use that ChatGPT is the prompt engineering part of it. So, not that we are going to lose our jobs, but we need to repurpose our jobs to that extent. Unfortunately, loyalty is becoming a scarce resource. 13% of the employees globally are only committed to an organization. So if you see in last couple of years, 25% of all the Indians have changed their jobs in 2022 only alone, because that was the great resignation which was going on at that point in time. 55% have actually moved to new jobs post the pandemic, and 90% are still looking for jobs, who have changed their jobs, especially on the higher level. So loyalty is not going to be a good resource going forward. People are not going to value for that. And what is driving that is the overall hybrid work. How the people are looking at hybrid work. And at the same point in time, flexibility is now becoming more of a right rather than how organizations look at it. And what I personally feel is we are moving towards a 4-day week already. So if you see the attendance in the offices, typically on a Friday and a Monday, you will see the attendance is almost nil, right? And Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, these are the 3 days, or any other days will be chosen by the employees, and rest of the time they would like to work from home. Doesn't mean that they are not working, but I'm saying the way we are looking at work, the definition of the work is also changing. All we need to do is make sure that we are abreast of what's happening in the technology space. How is it going to impact my job, and how I am upgrading myself to that extent. That is going to be the game changer.
Nicely narrated, I think. Supported by the good research. Thanks. Well said. And that comes, I think Ram sir is the good example that almost 40 years in the profession, and he reinvented himself. He started his career in IR, and how he reinvented over a period of time. He got retired a few years back, not back, I think, but still he is working. So nowadays people and young generation always say, enjoyment, happiness, all these things. The purpose of the life is to being happy, the Dalai Lama statement. Everybody write that. When I ask during the interviews to the student, they say, what is your purpose? Purpose to pata hi nahi rehta kya. Lekin they write, purpose is to be happy. Dalai Lama का बहुत अच्छी तरह से उन्होंने कॉपी किया है. How? But if you look this man, let's say the definition of happiness. How and he mentored a lot of IR professionals. I think who work with him, and people still take his name as a mentor in HR and IR things. He's, I think, surprise for him because you wish push it through of the discussion. But my question to you is that Abhijit mentioned here, how HR can reinvent themselves. I remember that for last few years, almost 10, 15, 20 years, every conferences there used to be subject by reinventing HR. So question is, how many years will be required to reinvent the HR with this all technological changes and things? So what do you think? What are the roles HR need to play? Because we are seeing that transition also, like Abhijit mentioned, in HR field. Because when there were HR professional, IR professionals used to be different, admin and all these things. So what is your take on this, that what HR can do differently, which they are not doing today?
Good evening. Good evening. I have been introduced as the impact player. I don't know whether there will be how much impact will be there to answering your question. See, let me start answering like when I joined Endurance on 1st Jan 92, I have completed 32 years with the organization, and I may be a surprise for the HR community whether this man was not getting any job. Many people ask me, how long you are there, why you are there? But let me tell you, when I joined my company, it was Anuring Engineering those days, not Endurance. Two brothers, Anand Jain and Taran Jain, started their die-casting unit at Aurangabad in 1984. Two die-casting second-hand machine given by Mama Rahul Bajaj. When I joined, they had the 6 machine, 25 crore turnover annual, 100 people. Today we have 21,000 crores turnover with 15,000 people. And from one roadside workshop, 20 plants in India and 4 plants in Europe owned by Indians. How this happened? And we are also witness in 2006-07 when you entered in the recruitment. So what exactly we did? Today we are talking talent, talent, talent. How to attract, how to retain, how to develop. It is nothing but people connect. My MD Anurang Jain knows people by their first name. And I know my people, not only their first name, but their wife name also. I know what their children are doing. So this is nothing but knowing the human capital. The moment you start knowing your human capital and get connected with them, and people become the central point, you need not to worry about the attrition. Talent and technology go hand in hand. Technology definitely playing a very vital role in talent, attracting the talent and retaining the talent and developing the talent. But we should not forget the traditional ways, where one-to-one sitting and interviewing the people, knowing each other, knowing the expectations of each other, and inducting the person in the organization. I was reading the biography of the Jack Welch. You know, he recruited most of the top bosses in G at either at lunch table or dinner table. And there was no technology, only one-to-one interaction. Normally what we do, we interview the people, we are not reading the people. The moment you start reading the people, you will get the right talent in your organization. Now your question is, how this transition takes place. In 1980s, when I started career with couple of organizations, one of them was Rallies India Tata Group. In those days, I seen the industrial revolution in the last 42 years. What was those days and what today is. What I was that time and what today. I am today relevant for every situation. I am reliable for every situation. And in demand, even at the age of 66. And endurance retained me last 32 years. Let me tell you one thing, apart from the question. I was due for retirement in 16, and from 2012 my management started to get the replacement plan, succession plan. They brought 3 people, 4 people, 6 people, all left.
No second call.
No second call. Then in 16, the day I have given the extension and my replacement got the termination. And last, this is the 7th year. What is the management and how you treat your people? Even though I am retired, semi-retired, my management has not changed my salary. What I was getting in 16, 18, same salary I am getting today. Same office, same staff, same facilities. Everything they continue. Even I am retired, semi-retired. This is what you need to take care of the people. And then you need not to worry about your retention. Yes, there is a talent war. And everybody is in talent war today. And how to get the best talent with minimum salary. आपल्याकडे एक म्हण आहे ना, गाय पाहिजे आपल्याला, लाथ मारणारी नको, शिंग मारणारी नको, चारा तर मुळीच खाणारी नको, पण भरपूर दूध देणारी हवी. अशी काय आणखी झालेली नाही. निदान चारा तरी खाऊ घातला पाहिजे आपण. मी आता माझ्याकडे एक मुलगी माझ्यावर काम केलं, तिच्याशी मी इंटरॅक्ट करत होतो. ते म्हणजे सर आमच्याकडे एवढ्या फॅसिलिटी आहेत लोकांसाठी, पण कवडीचं काम करत नाही. मी म्हटलं त्या पंढरीला जाणारे दिंडीमध्ये उन्हा पावसामध्ये दगडधोंड्यामध्ये चपला नाहीत पायामध्ये, व्हॉट इज द मोटिवेशन टू गो देअर फॉर मंथ्स टुगेदर? दे आर वॉकिंग ऑन द रोड and everything is available, and still we are not happy, and then we have to go for the satisfaction survey. And we engage the agencies, highly paid agencies, to go for the satisfaction survey. No. Even though technology is important, traditional ways also important, personal connect important, and ultimately people is a central point for the every policy, every strategy. Then you need not worry about the getting the talent. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because people should be, I like that statement, people should be in the center of everything. Unfortunately, what happens, we put a technology in the center and ask people to adjust with the technology. But ideally, the strategy should be people and then technology should be there. And that is a very relevant point. There, human connect, what exactly you said. I think we have some limitations about the time, and you rightly said that human is the important factor. But I would like to mention one thing here, that job displacement and technology, all these things will happen. It will happen in it. We can't replace the human being unless there is a compassion, empathy, and all these things. But we also need to, what sort of job will be actually, and that insight I would like to give here, that what sort of job can be redundant going forward. It can be this repetitive nature what Abhijit said. It can be low efficiency job, which can be often unprofitable, which are not giving any ROI, something like that. Simple to automate, prone to fluctuating demand, and less to medium impact. I think that job. So make those things of the life, that how you can actually be more valuable. What is the value proposition of the talent? I think I can summarize this with that important factor is technology will come and go. I think ChatGPT 7th version will be, or 6th version will be more danger, but still if we start thinking rather than totally relying on the ChatGPT, because we also need a brain. I got an email from one of the person and I can sense that it is written by ChatGPT, because he forgot to delete that the bottom sticker where it comes, generative something like that comes into that. I was tempted to write the reply that dear ChatGPT, something like that. So it also need a brain. We actually stop here. I express my sincere thanks to the organizers, specifically Yogesh, to inviting and giving this opportunity. And I think time is very less because topic itself is very vast. But maybe during the dinner we can discuss on the topic more. If you have any questions, the panel will be happy to take those questions. Anybody have any questions? And there is a mandate that there is only one question. Any question?
Thank you everyone, you can discuss with them while having the
Thank you, you understood everything. And I think we are able to confuse you more.
Truly remarkable, providing us with numerous valuable insights. We are honored to have had a panel comprising esteemed individuals who bring a wide range of perspectives and expertise. Each member of the panel has contributed their distinct insights, experiences, and wisdom, enhancing our comprehension and igniting fresh ideas. Every great event calls for a mind-feeding and soul-filling sessions, and though we are looking forward to our second panel, we have something more to feed your mind. There is nothing better to hear about an organization from a member who's been a significant part for over a decade now, inviting our Honorable Head for Corporate Relations and Industry Collaboration at MMDU, Mr. Jatinder Sudhana, to please step forward and let our audience take a deep dive into MMDU's legacy.
To the House of Intellects and the industry leaders. So I believe the kind of discussion we had today was an eye-opening session for all of us. The kind of contribution Ram sir made and the kind of storytelling, जिस तरह से उन्होंने पूरी story को सुनाया, वो बहुत touching था. And this is something, kind of a story which I'll narrate you, and I'll be very quick and short in my presentation. It's just an 8 to 10 slide presentation, which gives you a glimpse of our university, what we are, how we build up, and why we are here today in this kind of a leadership session. So what you see on screen is uncommon appearance, common by deeds. These are some of our students who are placed in last and recent batches. So what it narrates is, what we see is some students are placed in Deloitte, Microsoft, EY, Philips, Ecolite, Amazon, Informatica, MU Sigma. So these are all topmost companies of the industry. So when I say topmost industry, it comprises that every year we have a target that 30 to 40% of the students will go on 1 year kind of internship. So what was the discussion was retention, talent management. So this is a target we take as a team every year. कि हमें हर साल 30 से 40% of the students को एक साल पहले ही 7th semester में आते ही placement दे देनी है, और जब तक वो 8th semester pass out करेगा, जितना फीस का उसने इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है वो ROI वो घर पे लेके जाए. जो हमारा फीस स्ट्रक्चर है वो बच्चा एक साल में ही कमा ले. So this is the kind of vision we have for our students. And just to add on, what we have done as a university is, we have made a STF kind of a thing. When I say STF, आपने ये बहुत सारी movies में सुना होगा, बहुत सारी movies में देखा होगा, there is a special task force. So along with our faculty, we have a 40-member team who are specifically training our students on all of the latest technologies. Likewise, we were discussing for AI, cyber security, and all kind of latest technology which comes into the market. Every 6 months, technology is changing today. So there is a separate team, there is a 40-member team who trains our students on all kind of latest technologies. And this is the team who helps us whenever there is a product company visiting us. They train our students, they nourish our students on those technologies. Likewise, recently we are preparing our students on data science, which is need of the hour. So this is how we achieve something like this, which is on the screen. If you can present the next slide, please. So this is an activity milestone. I believe already my partner on the host has discussed and told you about the university. Just a glimpse, just to show you something about that. We started as a university in 1993. And we were the only private self-financed university in North in 1993 when we started up with the engineering as a self-financing institute. So now we have 200 plus courses in our university. We are a 3 campus. In total we have 3 campuses. Mulana Ambala is our parent campus. 1 campus in Solan, Himachal Pradesh, and the other campus is on Chandigarh Highway, that is Satopur. So this slide comprises of ranking and accreditations. So everyone needs a validity in the industry. When we go to a corporate, when we talk to them, they ask about certain rankings. So when I talk about rankings, NRF ranking, which is a government ranking which Government of India is giving. There is a NAC ranking which AICT and UGC jointly gives us. So we come under NAC A++ ranking, which is only top 3% institutions of the India. We also have some world rankings. We are being ranked 174 in Southern Asia region. And I believe Samriddhi already told, but this is on the screen, I'll repeat it again. We are ranked among 78 among topmost universities in India, ranked 34 in top medical colleges in India, ranked 31 in pharmacy colleges of India. And down the line, we can see world rankings also. 600 to 800 world rank band, 400 to 500 into clinical health. Next slide, please. So this is something which I was talking about, learn something new every day. So we have certain center of excellence in our university, which makes our students industry ready every day, which brings something new to the students also. And there is something which we recently started, that is our CSED center. So what we do in CSED center is we develop and do tie-ups with company for building up a center of excellence, which trains our students, give internship to our students and make them industry ready in terms of saving that time of the industry also, and also giving our students an edge into the industry when they give interviews also. Next slide please. So what we talked about, learn something every day, this is something innovation at MMU. We keep on doing some startup events also. We have a startup center also, and we have a campus business park also, where as a management of the university we nourish some new startups also coming to the campus, and my management is very supportive. They keep on funding also to the new startup. Recently we have started up with 2 new companies. One is a delivery low kind of a thing. Likewise, जैसे आप आज कॉन्फ्रेंस में बैठे हो और आप कोई चीज घर पे भूल गए, तो आपको सिर्फ अपने घर का एड्रेस और वो पैकेट को वहां से पैक करवा के पिकअप करवाना है, वो आपके पास यहाँ पे डिलीवर हो जाएगा. दिस इज समथिंग the delivery low app does, and there are some new also startup, 2-3 more startups which our management has funding. So this, अच्छा आपने slide change कर दिया. So this was one event, RM, which we did as a startup event in our university, calling up all the startups from the north and then funding them accordingly. So this is a glimpse of Mumbai chapter. This series is our 5th series. So we started up in Mumbai, and the topic of the conference was leadership in industry. So this is our second highlight of the HR conference which we did in Hyderabad. This one is the 3rd Bangalore chapter. The 4th one, maybe it was missing because we did it in last week only in Aurangabad. Today we are doing the 5th chapter. So this is some glimpse of the corporate which are regularly coming to us and enlightening our students. And I would like to mention here one very important thing. Where is Dr. Rath and Manasa? Acha, they are here. So big round of applause for them. So why I have told you to give them a big round of applause. We started up with a vision. We started up our office in Bangalore 7.5 years back. And today we are proud sharing that today standing in Pune, we will be opening our office in Pune also. So we need that support, that kind of a support from your side. क्योंकि अगर 7.5 साल से हमारा बैंगलोर ऑफिस चल रहा है, हम चाहते हैं कि पुणे ऑफिस को भी हम इसी तरह से चलाएं. Next slide please. So every college and university is known by their brand ambassadors. आज अगर मैं IITs और NITs की बात करता हूँ, वो सिर्फ अपने alumni के कारण जाने जाते हैं, and they serve back as an alumni to the campus. So just an highlight what our alumni are, where they are serving. There are few corporates who are serving worldwide also. Just to mention one, so Mr. Mohit Gambhir, he is a director in Innovation Cell of India. So when I say Innovation Cell of India, India में जितनी भी private and government universities हैं, उनको जब भी कोई funding होगी, तो he is the one, अगर इनके sign होंगे तो तभी वो file आगे जाएगी. So you can imagine the kind of alumni we produce into the industry and the public sector also. Next slide please. So this is just a glimpse of some of the dignitaries which keep on visiting our campus. Yuvraj Singh, Kailash Kher, and few of the other. So another slide just to show you that life at campus. We keep on doing some activities for students also, and some foreign exchange programs also for the students. So just to give you a glimpse that what I told, that we have engineering, hotel management, paramedical, computer application, biotechnology, pharmacy, medical, dental, nursing, sciences, commerce, law, physiotherapy, journalism, communication. And recently we have started with online courses also. So if there is a corporate sitting here and telling कि हमें अपने graduate लोगों को post graduation करानी है, तो we are the one who are providing that platform also. Next slide please. So this is about trust, which I told you in brief that we have 3 campuses, one in Mulana, one in Solan, and one at Chandigarh Highway. So house is open for all, and in the networking session we would be looking for people who can work with us as a faculty, because Government of India, UGC, AICT has given you corporates, you leaders, an open platform that you can work now with us as an adjunct faculty. So in that networking session, we would be open for that discussion if you are ready to work with us as a faculty. The slide is over. So I'll be finishing up with my presentation with few words which we have learned in the last conferences. हम एक लास्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस में थे और वहाँ पे यही डिस्कशन हो रहा था कि हम एम्प्लॉयज को रिटेन कैसे करें. कोई 2 साल काम करता है, कोई 3 साल काम करता है और छोड़ के चला जाता है. And this is the discussion which every table has it. हर HR पैनल डिस्कस करता है, हर कैंपस रिक्रूटमेंट की टीम डिस्कस करती है. तो वो HR विप्रो से थे जिनका वो लाइन में आप सब लोगों के सामने रिपीट करना चाहूँगा. तो what he told was कि जो भी लोग हमारे को 2 साल में 3 साल में छोड़ के जाते हैं, my leadership is like, वो हमेशा एक ही चीज बोलते हैं, need not to worry, because what we do is we are giving back to the nation. You are training those people and you are giving back to the nation. तो अगर आप ये माइंडसेट के साथ काम करोगे और सर ने, जैसे राम सर ने बोला कि अगर आप पीपल सेंट्रिक हो जाओगे तो मुझे लगता है कोई भी टारगेट, कोई भी टास्क अचीव करना कभी भी डिफिकल्ट नहीं है. आज हम 5th कॉन्फ्रेंस कर रहे हैं और इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के पीछे आज हमने जिस तरह से एफर्ट्स किए हैं, जिस तरह से स्ट्रगल किया है, बट end of the day we are standing here doing this beautiful conference. अभी इतना फर्स्ट पैनल ने बहुत अच्छा डिस्कशन किया, मुझे लगता है सेकंड पैनल इससे भी बेटर कुछ हमें देगा आज घर लेके जाने के लिए. थैंक यू ऑल फॉर द ब्यूटीफुल ऑडियंस.
The words resonate deeply, reflecting your unwavering dedication towards the organization. I am now excited to announce the upcoming panel discussion that promises to be both enlightening and engaging. Our second panel would discuss and focus upon developing AI and future-ready skills. Without any further delays, I take the honor to call upon the speakers for the same as I announce their introduction one by one. Starting with Ms. Priyanka, Regional Human Resources Director, India, Eastern. Ms. Priyanka. With extensive experience in multinational corporations, Ms. Priyanka has made significant contributions as a business HR. Her expertise lies in enhancing various HR core areas, including talent acquisition, retention, performance management, and more. Welcome, ma'am. Next, we have with us Ms. Sangeeta Singh, Leader People Functions at Simplify Healthcare. As a seasoned HR leader with extensive experience in multinational corporations, Ms. Priyanka has made significant contributions as a business HR. With over 14 years of experience in managing talent functions, she is driven by a passion for challenging assignments and a desire to make a meaningful impact. She excels in her role as a business partner, effectively connecting human capital to business outcomes. Next, we have with us Ms. Renu Tandon, Vice President, Human Resources, Markets and Markets. With an knack for transforming chaos into well-organized structures, Ms. Tandon possesses a remarkable ability to create future-ready organizations by collaborating with CXOs, business leaders, and stakeholders. As a human resources leader, her expertise spans across diverse industries, including travel, utilities, telecom, engineering, media, and digital services. The last panelist would be Ms. Swapna Sangri, Vice President, Human Resources, Quickly. An accomplished HR professional with a proven track record of successfully leading and guiding teams and organizational leaders through periods of growth, with a strong focus on aligning HR programs, platforms, and systems, she has played a very important role in partnering with stakeholders to develop competitive business strategies. And now, it's time to call upon the moderator for the show, Mr. Saurabh Shah, Vice President, Human Capital, Harvard. Mr. Saurabh is known to be a highly organized professional with the ability to handle complex tasks and situations, and is a people leader who has proactively and successfully delivered transformation and transactional HR services. As an effective communicator and thought leader, He exhibits exceptional interpersonal and relationship management skills that positively influence stakeholders to drive business and initiatives. Over to you, sir. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome, the amazing introduction, and the shower of beautiful words on each one of us. It's indeed a privilege for me to be assisting my panel. I would not say moderating because I've been included for inclusion purpose in this. And being a minority, I think I should facilitate and not moderate. So with all humbleness, let's get onto this journey, this amazing journey of listening to thought leaders, listening to amazing people who probably have experienced the world of AI, experienced the world of how future skills can be developed. And the next what I'm going to read, a disclaimer is, this is all ChatGPT. All views, content is from ChatGPT, but I still want to read it because I really loved what they have written. So, as we embark on a journey to explore the dynamic landscape of technology, innovation, and the crucial role that individuals and organizations play in shaping a future using AI-driven and future-ready skills. So fasten your seat belts as we unravel the mysteries and opportunities awaiting us in this ever-evolving realm of AI and future-ready skills. Then the discussion begins. In short, charcha karte hain. So, some facts, and again, using the privilege of being the facilitator, I'll talk first so that after that, if I don't get an opportunity, I don't have to really bother about it, right? So, World Economic Forum and the initial panel actually mentioned something similar. The World Economic Forum released a report very recently where they said that by 2025, almost 85 million jobs will be lost because of AI or automation. And interestingly, in the later half of the report, it says that 97 million jobs actually will be created because of the invent of AI. So the skill gap or the gap in terms of talent is still going to be like 13-14 million. So, and then the sectors which are going to be like healthcare, education, green energy, and then all the other standard process industries are going to create these jobs. So the fear of AI taking jobs, 13 million is already going to be the deficit, and a challenge for all of us sitting here. Where do we get this talent from? A survey by McKinsey actually is talking about the productivity because of AI increasing the entire value of the economy by close to $2 trillion. And also one of the survey in McKinsey says 87% of the executives, people like us, have already started experiencing the skill gap which is there because of emerging technologies. So my perspective is AI is not a choice, it is already there. So now the discussion should revolve around how do we maneuver ourselves through this challenging time, make use of the opportunity, and remember those 13 million jobs which are going to be additionally created by 2025. So with that, let me get to the first question, which talks about the impact of AI on the job market, the ecosystem. Of course, I did read out some statistics, but I think from a leader standpoint, Renu, it would be good to understand from you, how do you emphasize this entire scenario of the impact of AI on jobs? And then in the first panel did touch upon reskilling, did touch upon upgradation, but would love to hear your thoughts around it.
Sure, thanks for setting the context. So I work with markets and markets, and we're a research consulting firm. What we do is we work with Fortune 1000 companies and tell them where the future revenue is going to come from. Okay, and if you look at history, 52% of Fortune 1000 companies actually become redundant in 50 years. Okay, does it mean that technology has never existed? You've already had fourth industrial revolution. We're actually staring at the fifth industrial revolution. What has changed is the speed of change. Okay, if something took place maybe over a decade or a couple of decades, is today staring at you in the face. Second is if something changed in the tech sector or the defense sector, it was far away from most of us. Because when you talk about manufacturing, when you talk of other things, it is some element that changed. Today your candidate is looking at ChatGPT or is using AI to create a resume. Okay, so it's changing for services, it's changing for HR, it's completely disrupted. And augment that with two layers. There's a different generation of people at the workplace. Okay, so people who've actually come after 2000 look at technology differently, look at organizations and workplaces differently. And second layer is the amplification because of social media. So reason we are talking about ChatGPT, none of us are technocrats, but it's disrupting our ecosystems and workplaces. And I think in that operating environment, compounded with again the macros, the global changes, etc., what it means for us, I'm completely second what the first panel actually said. We're looking at elevation of skills. So earlier, while you were looking at just creation of technology, today you're looking at adoption of technology in a very different way. So I would actually say today AI is probably right here in another chair. It already exists as part of our work streams and work processes. What it means for organizations is if you're looking at adoption of technology and creation of technology, you're looking at very different levels again. Because when you have an experienced workforce, how do you disrupt? How do you change? Who trains? How do you train? Because you don't even know what is happening tomorrow. Second is the campus to corporate connect, because that's where bulk of your talent comes in. So today you might have someone in the 7th semester, 8th semester, but by the time the kid graduates, the technology is completely disrupted. And I would also change a narrative there. Today, the landscape has changed. Today, employees are not waiting for organizations to upgrade or upskill them. They're investing in their own talent and development. So I look at it from a different perspective. What does it mean to your wage bill? What does it mean to the cost of acquiring that talent? Second, how do you retain that talent? And it's going to be very, very complicated. So jobs, yes, will get created, will get supplemented, and it's only going to get crazier.
Thank you, Renu. Very interesting perspective. And before I actually move on to the skill part and the learning aspect, anecdotal example, and I won't quote the name of the organization, but I definitely want to quote this incident. So one of my friends happened to unfortunately fire somebody today, and he had that conversation. He or she had that conversation with that individual and said, okay, this is what it is, and we probably have to end on this note. So he said, I think it's better you kind of proceed with the exit formalities. And the guy says, my friend was waiting for like 10 minutes. Okay, what next, right? The guy's not responding. He's just simply looking in air, looking into his laptop. And then he finally asked him, dude, what's happening? We agreed that we'll do something. So you're sending in your resignation, right? So the guy says, sir, give me 5 more minutes. मैं ChatGPT पे देख रहा हूँ resignation कैसे लिखते हैं. And trust me, my friend said that good I fired this guy. अगर ये marketing का बंदा खुद का resignation नहीं लिख सकता है 2 line का, and he is using ChatGPT for it, where are we heading towards, right? So that was like an eye-opener for me when that friend narrated that incident to me today. So that kind of coming back to what Renu was mentioning, it's all about the future-ready skills. It's all about developing those skills. It's all about Renu mentioned a very beautiful point that employees will not wait for you to create that avenues. If you do not create that avenues, they'll create the avenues for themselves. If they don't want to create the avenues for themselves, there's another organization which is waiting to create that avenue for them. So on that point, I think, Sweta, I come to you to understand, how do you really foster this learning culture? Because one of the aspects of
developing future skills or AI, is lifelong learning is going to be at the bottom of everything we do. So how do you think we can foster that learning culture, create those opportunities, and probably present those to our employees so that they could benefit, and of course the organization will benefit.
Yeah, thank you, Sharav. Right. Since we've been talking about AI for quite some time, I'm going to go quickly on the numbers today. AI industry is going to make by 2030 around 17.5 trillion industry. Right? We know the level of investment by 2024 is going to be something close to $500 billion. Right? Elon Musk has started, he's co-founded a very, very serious business that he's getting into right now, where he's been making some chip which is going to inject into the brains of humans, and then we should be able to actually look at the TV, for example, a smart TV, and we should be able to give command to your brain so that TV actually starts, right? To that extent, AI is going to empower our life. When we are talking about those level of meritocracy which is peeping in and the world is moving towards, when we look at our organization functions, I think culture is made by each one of us. Right? The moment we really understand what's in for us, where we as a business is heading towards, what the contribution that we are making from the business standpoint, CHRO, EBITDA, right? The moment we really start looking at the relevance that you really want to bring on the table to your business stakeholders, I think the culture will automatically start percolating in right direction, right? Because you know the purpose of you being there. You know the purpose of really going ahead, stepping probably, going those 10 miles way beyond what you are today. So I think it's all about, when you talk about culture, Saurabh, it's about we really understanding what is the bigger purpose for all of us, where we as an organization moving towards, and what's my contribution is going to be. I think a lot of onus lies on the leadership, how they're driving within the organization, and what is prime focus and priority for them to talk about. I think culture starts with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Swapna. Very, very interesting insights, and that brings me to an anecdote which Vinod shared yesterday while we were discussing something. And then probably that's going to be the next question also. And Vinod was mentioning a beautiful example. He said, पहले जब charge sheet बनाना पड़ता था for any disciplinary process, we used to learn so much in that process, right? So much of which act was it? Is this the right reference? Is this the right context? This, that, back and forth. Work with your leaders, make sure that it is perfect. And then, with all that conviction, you could go and, hand that over to the union leader, saying that, this is the charge sheet and this is the problem, right? And with the advent of all the tools, it's very easy to prepare that charge sheet. But how do you get that empathy? How do you get that context? How do you, get into it? Sir mentioned about the human capital, human element of it. So how do you bring that into the forefront using all these tools? Is going to be an interesting element to discuss, and probably that's my next question, which I have for Priyanka. Culture. Swapna spoke about culture. She spoke about how do you really build that, top down. So what do you think are going to be the soft skills and the human intervention part of it, which are going to be critical to develop these future skills? Because I was reading somewhere and it did say that a lot of technical stuff is required, but at the same time there's something called as human skills. So do you want to enlighten us on that aspect?
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Saurabh, and thank you all for having me here.
I think as we all know that AI is taking a lot of routine jobs. What it is not taking for us is continuous learning, right? It's a lifelong learning. You must have seen that initially, and as Swapna said about data, conventionally we were looking at what kind of data points do I have. So I used to collect the data, but today all of us are connecting those data points and really thinking about how the HR dashboards are going to look like. What is the value of Power BI? and what is the value coming from the hiring dashboard, L&D dashboard, and whatnot. And I agree completely with you when the AI is going to write, the ChatGPT is going to write the resignation or the charge sheet. All of us have to manage people. So empathy is going to be critical. Our way of talking, behavior is going to be critical. Our creativity is also going to be critical, because every time we talk about automation, machine learning or AI, it's going so much fast that today we are talking about Power BI, but how many of us have actually gone through that training of Power BI? Do I know that what kind of data points do I have and how do I read the dashboard and interpret and then take an action so that I can improve on all the things that we manage today as an HR fraternity. So I think we all have to be a lifelong learner. That's continuous learning. It does not, we don't no longer say that I am a MBA from this. I think we need to now think about what have I done today? And am I the person who is able to learn throughout? So like we talk about AI and a lot about machine learning and the social media and the disruption, we need to also know that a lot of our time is getting invested on this smartphones, right? So do we have enough time to really understand what is empathy? Yeah? People need to get trained on talking about emotional intelligence, right? What is it that today? And the data is saying that the top leadership is just 10% having the most important EI concepts in their day-to-day. So are we really learning that? Yeah? And the most of the time goes into this social media, so my only request is, we as individuals, all we need to do is deal with people well, learn everything, talk about problem solving, read, understand, interpret, and improve the dashboards that we see on day to day. And be a human. We are connected on a human level, on individual level, we are connected to each other. And we are not connected just on messages, right? We connect on individual level. So I think all of us have to be human and genuine, compassionate, and connecting human. So that's all I have to say for all of you.
Thank you, Priyanka. I mean, you touched upon an amazing aspect of all of us here, the human side of it. And I think what one analogy I'm drawing from you is real life, say real life. I think that's what she's talking about. There's no 30 seconds. There's no 30 seconds version of life. Life is much more longer. And 30 seconds में सिर्फ अच्छा दिखाते हैं. But life is much more complicated, and I think with that human element in us, I'm sure that we will be able to tackle this lifelong, challenge which we have. So with all of these, right? We spoke about culture, we spoke about, the impact, we spoke about the human element. That brings me to a very interesting, question, and then probably the right forum as well, because on one hand I have the industry leaders, on the other hand I have the academicians, and right in front of me I've got the government. So how can we really collaborate between academia, industry, and government to foster and drive this AI, drive the future skills, and make sure that those 13 million gap, the deficit, we are able to fulfill this through this relationship. So, Sangeeta, your thoughts, your views on this, please.
So, can you hear me? Okay. So, it's a very interesting question, because today when we are sitting here listening to a lot of, people which come from different backgrounds, most of us are from the HR fraternity, then we have people from the education line. So, when we look at it, we think that probably India is not geared up for it, but there was a study done by Stanford University in 2021, and the report said that India has the highest predictive penetration of AI in the coming future. So that's where you realize the potential that our country has. Biggest Gen Z, is what we are right now sitting at 140 million. But when you look at it from the other angle, I think we have the biggest Gen Z who's ready for the future. And that's the reason the superpowers of the world are a little worried about what is India going to do next. Most of us would think that probably government is not, putting in enough efforts or gearing up for the future, but Indian government has a very progressive, outlook towards AI. I don't know how many of you have heard about India AI, which has been started by the government of India, and they are building the nation which is ready for future. They are not looking at something which is catering to today. So absolutely, third largest economy, and it is starting from grassroots. If I'm not sure how many of you are aware that NCRT is already building a framework wherein the AI would be introduced to kids in the secondary schools only, so that they are ready by the time they reach their colleges. I think they would be much better than engineers that we've been producing few years back. And the biggest example I see is at my home. My 15-year-old son can code, he can build live websites. That's part of his course curriculum. And if you look at 10 years back, that used to be something which people with few years of experience could do. So I think our government is putting in a lot of effort. Another ambitious plan that is on the way is India-US coming together, building a platform which is going to be AI backed, and it will have a very high impact on healthcare, education, agriculture and energy. So that's how we are ready for future. I think government is doing their job. But in the parallel, if you see, the stalwarts of the industry are also not behind. They are putting in a lot of effort here in India also to ensure that we have, the skill gap that we see today bridged during the education that is being given to the kids. So BITS Pilani has been, signing up a lot of MOUs with different companies, plus the biggest example is Scalar Academy. I don't know how many of you would have heard. They're coming up with a very different kind of an engineering program, which is going to be 4 years with a master's degree given to the students. So I think when I heard that podcast, I was amazed that that's what is being offered to our kids in the future. IIT Madras is already in association with a lot of other companies where they are building a base for AI research which can be used by the kids in the future. These are few examples. Lucknow has a course. ISB is coming up with a leadership course where they can be trained on AI, because they believe that tomorrow's leaders have to be equipped with AI, otherwise they will not be seen in the industry for too long. So if you look at it, the efforts are being made from all the sides, all the angles. It's up to the kids or the students how they make the best use of it. As Priyanka said that learning can never stop. The day we stop learning is the day we should put a full stop to our careers, because that's it. Even today when I'm sitting here, if I don't do my homework and come and talk, I think you guys would not want to hear out somebody who's just giving some weird or abstract information which does not make sense to anyone. So I think learning is very important, and we're being supported by both our government and the industry leaders, so we should make the best of it.
Thank you, Sangeeta. Very interesting perspective, and I think just before this panel discussion, we saw, we did see about MMU, and I think the enormous efforts universities like are taking. I think that is going to definitely help us as industry to bridge this gap. And I feel less fortunate that probably I wasn't I'm not part of this educational era where there are so many opportunities to be industry ready. Probably 15 years back it was 8 semesters engineering, everyday attendance compulsory, be in college, learn through your books. You get 1 semester to do your project, get an industrial exposure. But I really envy the students now who probably have a very brilliant balance between academics as well as what's happening in the industry. And the government is of course putting all the right steps in the right direction. I read a news about skills university being developed by the government, and those being put into various cities, tier A and tier B. Another good fortune is starting their office in Pune again, right? So I think these are all very bold steps which will help us bridge this gap between the industry and what happens in the academia. Paucity of time, I actually had one more question for the panel, but I think closing remarks, probably 30 seconds. Your take on AI, your take on future skills within like 5 words, 10 words max. So anybody, just closing remarks.
I think I already said it's more about learning today, tomorrow, and continuously, and being human.
Thank you. Sangeeta.
I think organizations are already making a lot of change with AI. Be it Simplify Healthcare, Anil Guru's in creating chatbots for healthcare industry, and using NLP to create a lot of stuff which the healthcare industry never had. So I think AI is the way ahead, but we have to use it to the best of our own advantage rather than be falling in for it, for looking for resignation letters. I think the better would be how to make a change in the industry.
Thank you, Sangeeta.
I think so far we've romanticized the concept, and while ChatGPT is here, AI is here, 2 of the 3 godfathers of AI have actually said, of ChatGPT have said, don't use it completely, it's still in beta testing. Okay, so there's underlying theme of does it meet the government norms, whether it can be used differently, and while we may talk about it from a social perspective, there are financial implications, there are others, the risks associated with it, whether it's with defense, whether it's finance, whether it's healthcare, etc. So there is some element of caution that we need to exercise with it as well, and that's what I would leave it with.
Thank you, Renu.
I'll say stay hungry, stay competitive. Thank you.
Amazing, wonderful thoughts, and I hope that we were able to do justice to your 35 minutes which you invested in listening to us. I think closing, I would just speak about what the panel emphasized on, the HR, the human side of our working. That is something which is going to be crucial and is going to be the driving factor. Sir, is like a living example of how he was able to build that human connect. Technical skills definitely going to be important. There's no shying away. You have to know those technical skills, but at the same time, things like critical thinking, problem solving, emotional intelligence are going to be the key soft skills which need to be developed, which need to be encouraged to be nurtured through our generations which are coming up. And I would just say that of course, the last but not the least, the collaboration between industry, academia and government needs to continue at the same speed, and probably further strengthen if we are able, if you really want these skills to be developed, the deficiency to be reduced. And I think AI, as I said, right, it's an ongoing journey, and there's no choice. It's already there, or probably it's already beyond a choice. So we have to embrace it with all humbleness, and make sure that you take the right strides, because मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके हौसलों में जान है. मंजिलें उन्हीं को मिलती है जिनके हौसलों में जान है. चैट जीपीटी एआई से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों में उड़ान होती है.
Thank you so much for listening to all of us. Thank you, panelists, for enlightening all of us. And it was an honor to be a part of the facilitation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This definitely calls for rewarding and showering our deep gratitude for the esteemed panelists. And to do the honors, I'd like to call upon the stage Dr. Debashish Rath and Mr. Jal.
The role of a sponsor nowadays is very critical. And God wishes, in the last 7 years, this has been our third event in the city of Pune. We don't want to be a sponsors in the Indian cricket team shirt every 2 years, somebody coming and going back and changing. And when in a city like Pune or any part of the country, many forums are there, the role even becomes more critical. I'd like to thank upon personally few individuals from the core of my heart. Thanks to Ram Maralapalli sir, being a good mentor and a fatherly figure, has been always inspiring. Many thanks for understanding, mentoring, and a very good friend, Rajendra Raut sir. Jogesh, with Jogesh in the last 5 years, personally this has been our 4th event. 3 we did in Aurangabad, this is the first event in Pune. Many thanks from the management of Mahasi Markandeya Deemed to be University, from all of my team members in making this evening very graceful with your strong presence. We look forward to come back to you again and again. It's not that a university comes back to you for campus recruitment. Whenever I meet somebody, my meeting lasts minimum 1 hour. And I've been fortunate. I have a lot of friends all across the country. We have taken a small step in Pune. Mayuresh, can you come here please? Can I get Mayuresh? So this has been a very wonderful journey today evening with all of you. The show must go on. The show will continue. And many thanks to my panelists. There is alteration, there is modification, there is changeover. It keeps on happening. We started this journey with our Mumbai chapter. From Bombay, we came to Hyderabad. From Hyderabad, we went all down to Bangalore, then Aurangabad. Now we are in Pune. I'd like to introduce to all of you to Mayuresh. Is the first appointment of MMDU in the city of Pune. And soon we are looking forward to have a full-fledged office like our Bangalore office and in other locations very soon. Over to Samruddhi.
Sanana to please be on the stage. It is my distinct pleasure to now call upon the panelists one by one and receive our love for them. We start with Mr. Abhay Gipe. Can we please hear him for him? Thank you, sir. everyone here. I request Mr. Abhay Gite, Deputy Labour Commissioner, Government of Maharashtra, to honour the sponsors and organisers of the event, requesting my team at MMGU to please come forward on the stage. And I know that you're all very, very hungry, but we have a few things lined up before that. Please bear with me. I request Mr. Vinod GM Emanora, the firm, to please come forward for his quick presentation.
Firstly, thank you all industry leaders, especially the HR leaders of the industry coming to the Emanora firm. And I am Vinod Gurneri. I head Maharashtra as General Manager, and I represent the foreign hotels and resorts. It is a great pleasure to me to announce, along with this HR conference or conclave that is happening today, along with this event, I proudly announce to say that we have also achieved a milestone by becoming 100 strong hotels pan-India. So, thank you, and this is a great thing to achieve. In a span of 14 years, Fern has spread across India, and of course we have hotels abroad too. Yes, it's very important as HR leaders to also have a refreshing mind, because you all are very busy at work. So what else can we extend to you than giving you a nice place to refresh your minds along with your employees of the organization. Meanwhile, I would like to give you a small presentation of the place where we are currently. It's the Emanora firm. Could you just play the video, please? So, Avanada, the firm actually caters to around 50 rooms, along with huge banqueting space and a lawn which you saw outside. So we cater to a lot of corporates where they do their annual gatherings around 2,500 people to 3,000 people and above. So may I take this moment to call up the general manager who's actually hosted the event today, Mr. Amit Sharma. And my other colleagues from the other firm hotels, which are Ramesh Gupta, Rajiv, Das, Bhargav, the firm which is at Shivaji Nagar. Ramesh Gupta heads our hotel in Lonavala, which is the firm Lonavala. Bhargav Deshpande primarily heads the Valley View Beacon at Mahabaleshwar. And Ambadas heads MIDC Pune, which is at Musu. So to little spice up, I think you've gone into a lot of HR today. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to gift out some one-night vouchers at these beautiful locations. Okay, I hope you're propping your cards. If not, I'm giving you one more chance. Amrit, can you get that ball engine? Can you just go on to table who missed out putting the cards because you're going to get a one-night stay at Fern Panchgani, Fern Lonavala. So I don't want you to miss it out. So if anyone has missed out putting their visiting cards, don't put 2 cards, that would be cheating. I would love that though. We'll meet later.
Will you accept a name on the paper?
Absolutely. That's a good way of getting noticed. I'll pick it up.
Thank you. I'll definitely be there.
So primarily, Avanada the firm hosts a lot of annual day gathering, wherein we host around 3,500 to 4,000 people at the amphitheatre outside and the lawn outside. So the big gatherings are being taken care. I think Amit would be able to tell you, give you a more brief on the same.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Avanada firm. It gives me great pleasure to speak to all bright minds of HR, in fact, today. I mean, we as a hotel, we are a hotel cum club. We also got corporate memberships as well in this hotel. So if you want to, offer memberships to your senior leadership, you're most welcome to connect with us. We can give you a special rate. Also talking about, we do a lot of annual days, in fact. I mean, people who are in the vicinity must be knowing us. And so we can cater to 3,500 people outside. We've got 2 banquet halls and we've got 50 rooms which are here. In fact, now people in the vicinity, we do offer pickup and drop facility as well. In fact, when people are staying with us to their offices as well. So once again, I thank you all, in fact, for coming out here, taking your precious time to come out here. Thanks CHRO for holding this event at Avanada. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh. We've been always partnering with Yogesh for all his events. We have a hotel in Aurangabad too. So we've been partnering with Yogesh Yadav in Aurangabad too. And you've been a great support to us whenever we need you. And that's been great. Thank you. I think, Amrit, are you done? Is anyone left to drop in their cards? I think we...
Hello. So Mr. Saurabh Shah, Vice President Human Capital. Oh, as you said, you were the first one to go for it and you did a one-night stay at Grand Victoria, the firm, Panchgani.
So the one who will go with me also is part of the audience. So I'm fortunate that my better half is here.
Okay, Mr. Apurva Srivastava, founder and director, Global Resource. Yeah. When I call Ramesh Gupta, the firm Lonavala GM, to give the voucher for, it's a one-night stay again at Panchgani. I'm going to take the card if it's fine with you.
Sure, sir.
Mr. Prakash Dongre from Hyundai Construction Equipment. Mr. Prakash is a one-night stay at firm Lonavala. Can I call upon Mr. Rajiv Joshi, AGM HR Operations, Koda? Thanks, Ms. Pooja Kandelwar, Intelligent. So you also get a one-night stay at Firm Panchgani. This is Mr. Tushar Pawar from Tanako. Come on stage. So Tushar gets a one-night stay at the Firm Lonavala. The one in the paper. Premium transmission, Mr. Suraj Katoj. It's a one-night stay at Firm Lonavala. Sangeeta Singh from Simplify Healthcare. One night stay at Firm Panchgani. If I'm wrong, it's Swapnil Mule from Whirlpool. I think the excitement, आप excited नहीं दिख रहे, आप दौड़ के आना चाहिए वो ये. Rajiv, can you do the honors? Mr. Vinayak Shivraj Patil from Kirloskar Royal Angels. I like that look. मैंने जीता यार. आज मैं वीकेंड जीता है कुछ.
सर एक मिनट सर.
The last one. Yes. Mr. Sachin P. out from Cummins Generator Technologies. So I think I'll spice up the evening again. So you get a one-night stay at Firm Company. Thank you everyone for this lovely evening. It's nice having you here. Once again, do remember us that you have any events or any requirements across India. Thank you so much.
Presentation for the night, and we'll head towards dinner and networking. I request Ms. Ranjana to please come forward and give us a deep presentation about CHRO Private Limited. Now,
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ranjana Kaushik, Program Manager, Apprenticeship Training and Compliance at CHRO Private Limited. I am representing our organization, CHRO Private Limited today. So I am expecting all your attention for next 5 to 6 minutes, not more than that. I know it's dinner time, but I believe the information I will be giving you today will definitely help you for your organization. Next slide, please. Pune-based company, incorporated in 2011. Which is leading skill development and human resource Sorry for the inconvenience. CATE Edusis Private Limited is organization incorporated in 2011, one of the leading skill development and human resource company offering manpower solution to its 200 plus clients pan-India. So I'm happy to say this here. CATE Edusis is one of the organization appointed by Government of India as a third-party aggregator to promote NAPS and NACS apprenticeship programs. Also, CATE is recognized as a top-ranked third-party aggregator in India, recognized by AOR. So, what we do and how we help organizations. So, our offerings are for the organization, we register employers on the apprenticeship portal. Also, we source apprentices and we help to recruit in your organizations. We also manage documents and contracts. We enable compliance for employers. We train and assist apprentices. We manage portal for employers, also facilitate claims and reimbursements. Next slide please. As you can see on the screen, in apprenticeship program, so apprenticeship program is governed by Apprenticeship Act 1961, and here two ministries are basically involved in this apprenticeship program. One is Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and another is Ministry of Education. So basically there are two governing bodies in this apprenticeship program. One is National Skill Development Corporation and another is board, which is Board of Apprentice Training and Board of Practical Training. So how is the applicability for this of this act to the establishment? So basically, establishments having 30 and above head count, those are mandatory to enroll apprentices. As you can see on the screen, so stipulated head count. So you must have question in mind if this act is applicable to all the organization, then how many apprentices you should enroll in your organization. So there is a capping for enrollment of apprentices. It's 2.5% to 15% of your average head count of the preceding financial year. You can enroll apprentices in your organization. What is the qualification for both the schemes? So under NAPS, you can enroll right from 5th standard to graduates, and under NACS, you can enroll diploma and any engineering, non-engineering graduates under NAPS scheme. And duration of this schemes are, under NAPS scheme, you can enroll apprentices from 6 months to 36 months, and under NACS scheme, it's 12 months. So there are many benefits under this, enrolling these apprentices in your organization. The very first benefit you can see on the screen is exemption from statutory compliances. So for apprentices, these compliances you can see on the screen, those are not applicable. So you can save almost 30% of the cost of every resource. Next benefit is government is offering aid under this program to further training of apprentices. So here under NAPS scheme, you are getting, for every apprentice, you are getting 25% of the stipend paid to the apprentice, or 1,500, which was lesser. Another is under NATS scheme, you are getting 50% of stipend paid, or 405,000 per apprentice, which is less from the government. Also, if you are enrolling these apprentices and you are delivering training to them, so you can reimburse this expenditure from CSR funding. So there are two key notes here. You can see on the screen for the reimbursement. One is reimbursements are applicable to NSQF aligned abroad job roles, and second key note is reimbursement is available up to 2026. Next slide please. So there are few engagement models you can associate with our company, CATE Edusis. First is do it yourself. So there are 4 components under apprenticeship program. One is recruit, train, compliance and reimbursement. So all the component, if you are doing by yourself, that is doing yourself. Second engagement component is you can continue with your progress for hiring and training. It can help you to compliance and facilitate reimbursement services. And last is you can consider as a gate, as one-stop solution for this entire apprenticeship program. Next slide please. So when we are talking about financial benefit, so there are two schemes you are seeing on the screen. First is NABS. Under NABS, I am giving you example of if you are hiring 100 apprentices in your organization. So from reimbursements aid, you can get 18 lakh per annum as a financial benefit from the government. From NABS scheme, you can save up to 54 lakhs per annum financial benefit from the government. So next slide please. So how you can associate with us and what are our offering basically under 4 components. So first we provide advisory services. Under advisory, we help organization to finalize their headcount. We help organization to finalize apprentice ratio, apprenticeship planning and curriculum development. So basically nowadays many organizations are in demand to do customized job roles in their organization. Those roles are not available on the apprenticeship portal. So we help organization to develop that custom curriculum on the portal and get it approved from the government. This is one of the USP we have. Another is recruitment. So right from outreach, we are providing services to the organization till onboarding on the apprenticeship portal. Next thing is training. This is also one of the USP of our services is training. So we are helping organizations. So under apprenticeship program, training is major component. And we are helping organization to prepare training calendar, then delivering training via in-house LMS system. So we have our own developed LMS system which enable us to provide evidence-based compliances, live and recorded session for future reference, and apprentices community and forum participation. So on our LMS portal, we have apprentices community where apprentices can network with each other. Last and most important service what we provide to organizations is compliance. So basically, as I told you in previous slide, Apprenticeship Act is mandatory. Apprenticeship Act mandate every organization having 30 plus headcount. They should compliant under this act. So we are providing these compliance services to the establishment, right from registering establishment on the apprenticeship portal, document collection from the apprentices, the candidate, those you are enrolling as apprentices, and the contract registration on the portal, payroll uploads, attendance collection, claim submission, record maintenance and recognize report, which is mandatory requirement as per the Apprenticeship Act. Next slide please. So here you can see on the screen, these are our prestigious clients you are seeing here. So we are across 40 plus sectors serving industries under this apprenticeship program. So in that, highlights are we are serving IT, ITS consulting organization, F&B, automotive and engineering, manufacturing, healthcare services. So these are the organization and sectors we are serving pan-India. Next slide please. So here my colleague Mr. Mahesh Bhosle is with me. So if you have any question regarding apprenticeship program, enrollment, recruitment, or any other question regarding compliance, he is here to answer your question. Any questions on this program? Thank you so much.
Being a lovely audience, it's time to capture what we've witnessed today. I request everyone present in the hall to please come forward to the stage for a group photograph. And Saurabh sir, I request you to take the initiative.